Good morning to one and all present over here. First of all, I welcome to Erode Sengundar Engineering College, Perundurai. Under the AICT pre-runner scheme for the preparing SC/ST students for higher education purpose, especially for the GATE preparation class. So in this session, we have to discuss about the transformer solved problems. So last class we discussed about the basics of transformer, corresponding circuits and applications of transformer. So in this class we have to discuss about the transformer basic solved problems. Okay. So myself L. Anbarasu, Associate Professor in the Department of EEE, Erode Sengundar Engineering College, Perundurai, Tamil Nadu. Here, problem number 1, a single phase transformer has 400 primary and 1000 secondary trains. The net cross-sectional area of the core is 60 centimeter square. If the primary winding be connected to a 50 years supply at 520 voltage, calculate the peak value of flux density in the core. Second option, the voltage induced in the secondary winding. Again repeat, a single phase transformer which has 400 primary trains. So number of trains in primary winding, it is equal to 400. That is N1 equal to 400 number of trains, and 1000 secondary winding trains. That is N2 equal to 1000. The net cross-sectional area of the core. So cross-sectional area A equal to 60 centimeter square. You have to convert the centimeter square into meter square. Then 60 into 10 to the power minus 2 whole square. If the primary winding be connected to a 50 years supply at 520 voltage, so frequency of the supply, that is equal to F equal to 50 years, supply voltage equal to 520 voltage. Then calculate the peak value of flux density in the core. That is the maximum flux density we have to determine. The second one, the voltage induced in the secondary winding, that is the E2. So we have to calculate the induced EMF in secondary winding. So we already know that EMF equation of transformer E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F flux phi M into N1 number of times. So that is the formula for the transformer EMF equation of transformer in primary winding. That is E2 equal to 4.44 frequency F flux pi M into N2. That is the secondary winding number of secondary winding induced EMF. So transformation ratio K equal to N2 by N1. We have to substitute the N2 equal to 1000, N1 equal to 400. Then we have to get the 2.5. That is the transformation ratio equal to K equal to 2.5. We know that transformation ratio, another voltage ratio E2 by E1 equal to K. That is E2 by E1 equal to K. That is equal to N2 by N1. Based on the equation, secondary induced EMF E2 equal to K into E1. So E1 equal to approximately 520 voltage. It is equivalent to supply voltage V1. We can substitute the 2.5 in terms of transformation ratio K multiplied by 520. So it is the supply voltage V1. So it is equivalent to induced EMF E1. So we can get the E2 equal to 1300 voltage. That is a secondary induced EMF. So voltage induced in the secondary winding, that is equal to 1300 voltage. Then another data, that is a maximum flux density. We have to find out the maximum flux density. Already we know that pi m equal to Pm into A. So E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F N1 into Bm into A. The Bm into A, it is equivalent to pi m. So maximum flux. Okay. So already these data are available. E1 it is available in the given data 520, 4.44 frequency of the supply equal to 50 years, N1 equal to 400 tens, Bm, so it is the unknown data, so we have to determine the maximum flux density value. So cross sectional area A equal to 60 into 10 to the power minus 4. So we can calculate this data. We can get the maximum flux density Bm equal to 0.976 Weber per meter square. Okay, it is a simple formula. We accept the gate questions. The only thing, there are data are available, N1 and N2, then cross-sectional area, frequency of the supply, induced EMF, E1 value. So based on this data available, we can get calculate the maximum flux density and induced EMF E2 value. Only thing we have to remember the formula, induced EMF formula, transformation EMF equation of transformer, that is E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F N1 into Bm into A. So second formula, second problems, yeah, 25 kVA transformer. So 25 kVA transformer, it is the rating of the transformer, which has 500 turns on the primary. So N1 equal to 500 turns, 50 turns on the secondary winding, N2 equal to 50 turns. The primary is connected to the 3000 voltage 50 Hz supply. That is V1 equal to or E1 equal to 3000 voltage, frequency of the supply F equal to 50 Hz. Find the full load primary and secondary currents. Find the full load primary and secondary currents. That is the I1 equal to what, I2 equal to what. And then secondary induced EMF E2, and also maximum flux in the core. That is a pi m. There are the 4 terms we have to determine: I1, I2, E2, and pi m. Neglect leakage drops and no lower primary current. So these terms we have to neglect. Already formulas are transformation ratio equal to K equal to N2 by N1. We have to substitute the N2 in terms of 50, N1 in terms of 500, that is equal to 1 by 10. Okay, that is a transformation ratio value. This K equal to 1 by 10. Then find the full load primary current I1. So based on their formula, rating of the transformer divided by corresponding voltage, that is given to the primary value of current. That is I1 equal to rating of the transformer divided by primary voltage. That is the formula begin the I1. That is I1 equal to rating of the transformer, that is a 25 kVA. We have to convert the 25 kVA into 25 VA. That is 25,000 divided by 3,000. So we can get the primary current value, 8.33 ampere. So that is a formula, rating of the transformer divided by primary voltage. We can get the primary current. So based on the another transformation ratio, I2 equal to I1 by K. That is I1 by I2 equal to K. So based on the formula, we have to determine the secondary current. That is I2 equal to I1 divided by K. So already data is available I1 and transformation ratio K. So based on this data, we have to determine the I2 current, secondary current. That is 10 into 8.33. So 10 means 1 by 10, that is a denominator, 10 into 8.33. That is a secondary current value equal to 83.3 ampere. So EMF per turn on the primary side, that is equal to 3000 divided by 500 voltage. That is 3000, it is the voltage, V1 voltage. 500, so it is the number of turns, N1. That is we can get a EMF per turn. We can get the 6 voltage. So from this formula, standard induced EMF equal to 6 into 50, we can get the 300 voltage. Or we have to calculate for the E2 equal to K into E1 formula. We have to calculate for another formula, E2 equal to K into E1. That is a E2 by E1 equal to K. So K value is available, E1 value is available. We have to substitute the K and E1 value. That is a 3000 into 1 by 10. We can get the 300 voltage. Okay. Then finally, we have to determine the E1 value. E1 equal to induced EMF in primary winding. That is E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F N1 into pi m. So unknown data is maximum flux, that is a pi m only. All other data are available. You can substitute the other data even in terms of 3000, 4.44, F in terms of 50, then N1 primary winding number of turns, that is the 500. We can get the pi m value, that is a 27 milliweber. 27 milliweber. You can substitute this data in this formula. Simply we have to calculate for the maximum flux value. That is 27 into 10 to the power minus 3 Weber, or 27 milliweber. 27 into 10 to the power minus 3 Weber, or 27 milliweber. In this formula, we know that 25 kVA, that is the rating of the transformer. We remember that why transformer rating in kVA. Some other machines, electrical machines, DC generator, DC motor, or AC motors, all the machines are rated in horsepower or kilowatt. But in case of transformer, it is rated in a kVA or VA. Why? What is the reason for the transformer is rated in kVA? So only the reason, the losses. So there are transformer which has two losses are available. So one is the copper losses, another one is core losses. So we have to use for the windings, primary winding and secondary winding. These windings produce copper losses. These windings are wounded on the iron core. This iron core produce iron losses. The transformer which has no rotating part. Okay, so that's why there is absence of mechanical losses. So only two losses are there. In case of other machines, there are three losses are available: copper losses, iron losses, and also mechanical losses. But in this case, transformer which has no moving parts. So that's why the mechanical losses are absent in this case. So only two losses are there. So what are the two losses? Copper losses. These copper losses depends upon the current. These copper losses of your transformer depends upon a only load current value. And also iron losses which depends upon the voltage. Okay, so two losses depends upon the voltage and current only, not depends upon the phase angle between voltage and current. So hence the total losses of your transformer depends upon volt ampere, that is a VA, not on the phase angle between voltage and current. So that is it is independent of the load power factor. That is, it is independent of the load power factor. So it depends upon the only voltage and current. So that's why it is rated in kVA, not in kilowatt. It is the important things. Okay, we have to remember these points compared to other machines. Next problem, a 25 kVA single phase transformer which has 250 turns on the primary and 40 turns on the secondary winding. So N1 equal to 250 turns, N2 equal to 40 turns. The primary is connected to 1500 voltage 50 Hz supply. So V1 equal to 1500 voltage, frequency of the supply means equal to 50 Hz. Calculate primary and secondary current on full load. Calculate the primary and secondary currents on the full load conditions. Second option, secondary induced EMF. Third options, maximum flux in the core. Okay, three parameters we have to determine the problems. So available data is the rating of the transformer equal to 25 kVA. The rating of the transformer that is equal to 25 kVA. N1 equal to 250 turns, N2 equal to 40 turns, E1 or V1 equal to 1500 voltage, F equal to 50 Hz. So first we have to determine the I1 and the I2. Okay, I1 and I2. So primary current, how to calculate the primary current? I1 equal to rating of the transformer divided by primary voltage. Rating of the transformer, that is a 25,000 divided by primary voltage. So primary current I1 equal to rating of the transformer, that is a 25,000 divided by primary voltage, we can get the primary current value, that is a 16.67 ampere. This is a 25,000 divided by 1500 voltage. We can get the primary current value 16.67 ampere. Okay. So another current I2. There are two formulas are there. Previously, we have to determine for the N2 by N1 equal to K. By means of K value, IT equal to K into I1 by K. That formula can be applicable for determining the secondary current. So in this case, we have to determine for the V2 by V1 equal to N2 by N1. That is another formula. V2 by V1 equal to N2 by N1. Unknown data is equal to V2. So we can easily calculate the V2 equal to 240 voltage. So by means of secondary voltage, we can determine the secondary current also. That is the rating of the transformer divided by secondary voltage. Okay, we can easily determine the secondary current I2 value. That is a 25,000 divided by 240. We can get the 104.2 ampere. Okay. Then we have to determine for the I1 and I2 and also secondary induced EMF. So another data is maximum flux in the core. So we can substitute the any EMF equation of transformer E1 or E2. We can get the maximum flux in the core. Okay. So that is E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F into pi m into N1. Pi m into N1. That is the formula behind the determination of maximum core flux. Okay. That is the E1. E1 we got to substitute for the V1 voltage, that is the 1500 voltage, equal to 4.44. This is the constant one into frequency. Supply frequency equal to 50 Hz into maximum flux in the core. So that is maximum flux in the core. That is the unknown data. We have to determine for the maximum flux in the core. Then multiplied by N1 number of turns. So N1 equal to number of turns in primary winding. We can get the pi m equal to 0.027 Weber or 27 milliweber. 0.027 Weber or 27 milliweber. It is a simple calculation beginning the determination of maximum flux or flux density or I1 and I2 current value. So only thing we have to remember for the formula N2 by N1 equal to E2 by E1 equal to V2 by V1 equal to I1 by I2 equal to K. That is the formula. Remember for the formula. Another formula E1 equal to 4.44 frequency F pi m into N1. Then another EMF equation E2 equal to 4.44 frequency F pi m into N2. So this formula we have to remember for the calculation of the transformer problems. Okay. Shall we go for the next problem? Yeah, 2200 voltage bar 200 voltage. Yeah, 2200 voltage bar 200 voltage transformer. That is the V1 equal to 2200 voltage, VT equal to 200 voltage. Okay, primary voltage V1 that is equal to 2200 voltage, secondary voltage equal to 200 voltage. So the transformer draws a no load primary current of 0.6 ampere. No load primary current of 0.6 ampere and observe 400 watts and observe 400 watts. Find the magnetizing and the iron loss components. It is one of the one problem. Another problem, a 2200 voltage per 250 voltage transformer takes a 0.5 ampere at a power factor of 0.3 on open circuit. Find the magnetizing and the working component of no load primary current. Okay. Based on the open circuit test, we have to determine for the iron losses in the wattmeter reading. So already the wattage is available. That is iron losses wattage equal to 400 watts. So that is iron loss current. We have to determine for the iron loss current. That is the no load input power. That is equal to iron losses equal to 400 watts divided by primary voltage. We can get the easily iron losses current. Okay, that is a 0.182. So 400 it is equal to iron losses 400 watts divided by primary voltage 2200 voltage. We can get the 0.182 ampere. So we know that I naught square equal to IW square plus I mu square. That is the formula behind the no load primary current. I naught square equal to IW square. IW means working component current plus I mu magnetizing current. Okay. Magnetizing current I mu equal to square root of I naught square minus IW square. We can substitute the known data. So I naught equal to already available 0.6 ampere. Data is available in the formula problems. 0.6 square minus 0.182. It is the iron losses component current. Okay. You can substitute the 0.182 square. Okay. We can get the magnetizing current 0.572 ampere. It is one of the method. So second method, we can directly substitute the IW equal to I naught into cos phi naught, I mu equal to I naught into sin phi naught. That formula. In case of second problem, a 2200 voltage for 250 voltage transformer takes a 0.5 ampere. That is I naught equal to 0.5 ampere. Power factor cos phi naught equal to 0.3. Cos phi naught equal to 0.3. Then we have to determine for the IM, that is I mu and IW. That is I naught equal to 0.5 ampere, cos phi naught equal to 0.3. It is the data is available in the problem. IW equal to I naught into cos phi naught. It is the formula. We have to remember for this formula. IW equal to I naught into cos phi naught. Substitute these parameters directly to the formula. We can get the IW equal to 0.5 into 0.3. We can get the 0.15 ampere. Okay. So once determination of working component current, we have to calculate for the magnetizing current I mu. That is I mu equal to square root of I naught square minus IW square. You can easily determine the magnetizing current 0.476 ampere. Okay. This is a simple problem. We can easily calculate the IW, I mu value. And there are two formulas are there. I naught square equal to IW square plus I mu square. Then IW equal to I naught into cos phi naught. I mu equal to I naught into sin phi naught. Another formulas are available. Okay. We can convert the cos phi naught into sin phi naught. We can substitute the I mu equal to I naught into sin phi naught formula. We can easily calculate the directly calculate the 0.476 ampere. Okay. Here there are 4 problems are available, detailed problems. For calculation purpose, we have to implement we have to solve these 4 problems. So any clarification, you should calculate, you should call and intimate me. Okay. So there are 4 problems are available. Simple basic problems. Already answers are there. We have you can cross check the answer also. So next problem, a single phase transformer with a ratio of 440 bar 110 voltage takes a no load current of 5 ampere at 0.2 power factor lagging. A single phase transformer with a ratio of 440 bar 110 voltage takes a no load current of 5 ampere at 0.2 power factor lagging. If the secondary supplies a current of 120 ampere at a power factor of 0.8 lagging, estimate the current taken by the primary. Estimate the current taken by the primary. For here, first we have to draw the phasor diagram. This is the flux pi. It is taken as a reference phasor. No load current I naught. I2, so it is a current lagging with respect to voltage V by an angle 0.8. Okay. So I2, we have to convert the I2 into opposite side, that is I2 dash. Opposite side means we have to transfer the secondary current into primary side, that is I2 dash. The resultant vector in between the I0 and I2 dash equal to I1, that is a primary current. This primary current is to be calculated. Okay. The angle between the voltage V1 and I naught equal to 78.3. How to calculate means already data is available. Cos pi naught equal to 0.2. We can get the pi naught equal to 78.3 angle. Okay, from that formula. So no load power factor equal to 0.2 here. So it is a no load power factor value. Cos pi naught equal to 0.2. So cos pi naught equal to 0.2 means pi naught equal to cos inverse of 0.2. We can get the 78.3. Okay. That is the angle between applied voltage and no load current. Then another power factor value, it is the load power factor cos by 2 equal to 0.8. That is the angle between voltage and current. That is a voltage V2 and current I2. The angle between voltage and current equal to pi 2. Then pi 2 equal to cos inverse of 0.8. We can get the 36.54. 36.54 angle. It is the 36.54 angle. Okay. So based on the transmission ratio formula K equal to V2 by V1, we can substitute the 110 bar 440 voltage 1 by 4. That is the transformation ratio value. Another formula I2 dash equal to K into I2. That is the I2 current. It is transferred to the primary side. That is I2 dash equal to K into I2. So K value, that is 1 by 4. I2 ampere, it is already available in the columns. That is a 120 ampere. It is a secondary current. So 120 into 1 by 4, we can get the I2 dash. So it is the current. It is equivalent to secondary current transferred to the primary side. Okay. So 120 ampere, it is a actual secondary current. This secondary current, it is transferred to the primary side means I2 dash equal to 30 ampere. So I naught equal to 5 ampere. It is available in the data. 5 ampere, no load primary current. That is I naught equal to 5 ampere. So once knowing the I naught and I2 dash, we can calculate the angle between the I naught and I2 dash 78.3 minus 36.54. It is the angle between voltage V1 and I naught, that is a 78.3. Then angle between I2 dash, that is a 36.54. The actual angle between this V1 and I1 equal to 78.3 minus 36.54. We can get the angle between voltage V1 and I1. That is a 41.36. Okay, that is the angle between I naught and I2 dash. Okay. By using the parallelogram vector, I1 equal to square root of I naught square, I2 dash square plus 2 into I naught into I2 dash into cos angle pi 1. Okay. We can substitute this data in this formula. We can get the actual primary current. That is I1 equal to 34.45 ampere. It is one of the problems. So mostly asking for the gate examination. So for simple calculation, okay, we have to calculate for simple calculation. We can determine the nodal primary current I1 value. Here next problem, a 30 kVA 2400 bar 120 voltage 50 Hz transformer has a high voltage winding resistance of 0.1 ohm and a leakage reactance of 0.22 ohm. The low voltage winding resistance is 0.035 ohm and the leakage reactance is 0.012 ohm. Find the equivalent winding resistance, reactance and impedance referred to the high voltage side and low voltage side. So by knowing this equivalent circuit parameters value, that is the R01 equal to R1 plus R2 dash. This is the formula begin the high voltage side. That is a transformer resistance, secondary winding resistance and the reactance transfer to the primary winding. That is R01 equal to R1 plus R2 dash. Then another formula X01 equal to X1 plus X2 dash. So it is the transformation referred to primary side. Another formula R02, which is equal to R2 plus R1 dash. This is all the parameters in the primary side, which is transferred to the secondary side. That is R02 equal to R2 plus R1 dash. X02 equal to X2 plus X1 dash. Okay. R1 dash, it is means by the primary winding resistance transferred to the secondary side. X1 dash, it is indicated in primary winding reactance transferred to the secondary winding. Here R2 dash, it is equal to secondary winding resistance, it is transferred to the primary side. X2 dash, it is a secondary winding reactance, it is transferred to the primary side. Okay. So only thing we have to remember the formula R01 equal to R1 plus R2 dash. We have to substitute the R2 dash equal to R2 by K square. So any parameters transferred to secondary side means divide by K square. Okay, so then we have to substitute for R2 dash equal to R2 by K square. Then X2 dash equal to X2 by K square. So based on this formula, solid data are available. R1 equal to 0.1 ohm, X1 equal to 0.22 ohm, R2 equal to 0.035 ohm, X2 equal to 0.012 ohm. The transformation ratio equal to N2 by N1, 120 divided by 240, 2400 voltage. That is a transformation ratio K equal to 1 by 20. Okay. So we have to substitute for this data in this formula. 0.1 plus 0.035 divided by 1 by 20 whole square. We can get the 14.1 ohm. That is the R01 value. That is the equivalent resistance transferred to the secondary side. Okay. X01, that is X1 plus X2 dash. We can substitute the parameters into the formula 0.22 plus 0.12 divided by 1 by 20 whole square. You can get the 5.02 ohm. That is a reactance value, total reactance value referred to the primary side. Then impedance, total impedance of the transformer referred to primary side, that is Z01 equal to square root of R01 square plus X01 square. That is Z equal to square root of R square plus X square formula. You can substitute these two parameters in this formula. We can get the Z01 value, 15 ohm. So finally we can determine the resistance R01, reactance X01, then impedance Z01 value on high voltage side. High voltage side means that is a 2400 voltage. That is a primary side. That is all the parameters transfer to the primary side. Okay. Then same parameters we have to determine for the low voltage side also. That is R02, X02, then Z02 value. The same formula, only thing R1 dash equal to K square into R1. R1 dash equal to K square into R1. Why means all the parameters are transferred to the secondary side. That is primary winding resistance is transferred to the secondary side means R1 dash. We have to substitute for the R1 dash equal to K square into R1. Previously R2 by K square. Secondary winding resistance is transferred to the primary side. So that's why division by K square. Here multiplied by K square. K square into corresponding resistance. Which is the resistance to be transferred means we have to multiply for the corresponding resistance into K square value. Okay. K, it is nothing but transformation ratio. So all the data are available in the problem. Substitute this R2 equal to 0.035 ohm plus K square 1 by 20 whole square into R1 equal to 0.1 ohm. We can get the R02 value. That is the total resistance of the transformer referred to secondary side. Referred to secondary side. Then another data is X02. It is the total reactance of the transformer referred to secondary side. We can get the 0.01255 ohm. Similar formula. We can substitute the reactance value in this formula. We can get the another data is 0.01255 ohm. Then simply we have to calculate for the impedance of the total impedance of the transformer referred to secondary side. That is a low voltage side. Z02 equal to square root of R02 square plus X02 square. We can get the 0.0374 ohm. Okay. The unit of the resistance, reactance, and impedance all are the unit equal to ohm. Note on these problems and formulas and other things. So next important problems, that is open circuit test and short circuit problems. Obtain the equivalent circuit of 200 or 400 voltage, 50 Hz single phase transformer from the following test data. Open circuit test and short circuit test. We have to conduct the two tests. Based on the open circuit test, voltmeter readings are 200 voltage, ammeter readings are 0.7 ampere, wattmeter reading, that is iron losses, total iron losses of the transformer equal to 70 watts. Here it is on the low voltage side. Okay, because always low voltage side, it is the supply side, high voltage side is kept at open. For that, the processor for the open circuit test. For short circuit test, high voltage side, it is the supply side, low voltage side kept at closed by means of ammeter or thick copper wire. That is a processor begin the short circuit test. So voltmeter reading 15 volt, ammeter reading 10 ampere, wattmeter reading which gives the 85 watts. Then calculate the secondary voltage when delivering 5 kilowatt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Primary voltage being 200 voltage. Okay. So first from the open circuit test, we have to determine the equivalent circuit parameters of open circuit test. Okay. That is a power formula V1 I naught cos phi naught equal to W naught. So from that open circuit test, supply voltage always constant, that is a V1, no load current I naught into no load power factor cos phi naught. It is equivalent to no load input power W naught. So already data is available V1, I naught and W naught. So unknown data is equal to no load power factor value. Okay, we got to determine the no load power factor value cos phi naught equal to 70 divided by 200 into 0.7. We can get the cos phi naught equal to 0.5. Okay, that is a no load power factor value. Then cos phi naught equal to 0.5 means convert the cos phi naught into sin phi naught. That is, we can get the 0.86. That is a sin phi naught value. By knowing the working common current IW equal to I naught into cos phi naught, substitute these parameters in this formula, we can get the IW equal to 0.35 ampere. Another formula, magnetizing current I mu, that is I naught into sin phi naught. We can substitute this data in this formula, we can get the magnetizing current directly, 0.606 ampere. Okay. So no load equivalent circuit parameters, that is R naught and X naught, that is the formula R naught equal to V1 by IW. That is the formula of R. No load resistance R naught equal to V1 by IW. So these two data are available. V1 equal to 200 divided by 0.35. Okay. So that is equal to 571.4 ohm. R naught equal to 571.4 ohm. So X naught equal to V1 by I mu. So X naught equal to V1 by I mu. So that is the voltage across the reactance, current through the reactance. Okay, that is the V1 by I mu. That is equal to 200 divided by 0.606. You can get the X naught value 330 volt. Okay, 330 ohm. So this is the from the open circuit test. Then from the short circuit test, by knowing the formula Z0 equal to VSC by I2 or VSC by ISC. In case of short circuit test, Z0 equal to VSC by ISC, that is the voltage voltmeter reading divided by ammeter reading in short circuit test. 15 divided by 10, we can get the 1.5 ohm. So the transformation ratio equal to 400 divided by 200. Previously, V1 equal to 200, Vt equal to 400. K transformation ratio equal to V2 by V1 equal to K, that is equal to 2. So convert the parameters into primary secondary parameters into primary side. So then Z01 equal to Z02 divided by K square. Any parameters which is transferred to secondary side into primary side means multiplied by K square. Same formula. So then Z01 equal to Z02 divided by K square. You can substitute these parameters. You can get the Z01 equal to 0.375 ohm. Then another formula, copper losses. From the necessity of short circuit, we have to measure the copper losses. Okay, copper losses equal to I square R. That is I2 square into R02. That is equal to wattmeter reading. That is the copper losses. So current readings are available from the ammeter reading. Wattmeter readings it is available. So only thing the unknown data is R02. So R02 equal to 85 watts. So it is given in the short circuit test formula. Okay, wattmeter reading divided by ammeter reading square. Okay. 85 divided by 10 square equal to 100. So 85 by 100 we can get the 0.85 ohm. Okay. So it is the equivalent resistance referred to secondary, but all the parameters are transferred to the primary side. So that's why we have to calculate for the R01 equal to R02 divided by K square. R01 equal to R02 divided by K square. So substitute 0.85 divided by 4 equal to 0.21 ohm. Similarly, determine the X01 equal to square root of Z01 square minus R01 square. You can get the X01 value 0.31 ohm. Okay. So all the things are determined. That is the obtain of equivalent circuit parameters R0, X0, R01, X01. All the things after determination, you have to draw for the equivalent circuit diagram of single phase transformer. R0 value, X0 value, it is connected parallel with the supply. R01 and X01, it is connected in series with the supply. Okay, it is the equivalent circuit diagram of single phase transformer. Then another data is calculate the secondary voltage when delivering the 5 kilowatt at 0.8 power factor lagging. The load power equal to 5 kilowatt, power factor value equal to 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, determine the secondary voltage. Already primary voltage equal to V1. Okay, in this formula, so total we got to determine for the output kVA. So available data is equal to power value, that is a load power value, that is 5 kilowatt divided by 0.8 power factor. We can get the output current, output kVA, 5 divided by 0.8. And also determine the secondary value of current I2, that is equal to total power 5000, that is a 5 kilowatt converted into 5000. 5000 divided by power factor into corresponding voltage 400. Okay, so 5000 divided by 0.8 into 400, we can get the 15.6 ampere. 15.6 ampere. That is a load current, secondary current. Okay. So in order to already known data Z02, R02 and X02, we can substitute for the voltage regulation formula I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 plus X02 into sin phi 2. That is the formula for the determination of transformer voltage drop. Okay. I2 into R02 cos phi 2 plus Y plus sign means it is a lagging power factor. We can substitute for the plus sign. In case of leading power factor, we can substitute for the nadding sign. That is I2 equal to I2 into R02 cos phi 2 plus X02 into sin phi 2. So substitute these parameters into formula 15.6 ampere. That is the load current value I2, 15.6 ampere. R02, that is a 0.85 ohm into cos phi 2. Cos phi 2, that is already power factor values are available in the formula. 0.8 power factor, that is a substitute for 0.8 plus 1.24, that is x naught 2 value into 0.6. We have to convert for the cos pi 2 equal to 0.2 means sin pi 2 equal to 0.6. Okay, by means of conversion process. Finally, we can get the voltage drop across the secondary winding 22.2 voltage. So actual voltage VT equal to 400 minus 22.2 voltage. So 400 means it is the secondary side voltage. We have to minus for the drop voltage. So 22.2 voltage. It is the actual voltage by means of measuring the voltmeter. Okay, it is the induced EMF voltage. Secondary induced EMF voltage E2 equal to 400. So voltmeter which reads secondary voltage equal to 377.8 voltage. For preparation of this type of problems, we have to show the two problems, open circuit test problems. Here 20 kVA, 2500 divided by 250 voltage, 50 years single phase transformer has following test data: open circuit test and short circuit test. So let us see answers are there. You can freely, you can free time, you can determine these parameters, and also you can cross check these values also. So another problem: 50 kVA, 2200 bar, 110 voltage transformer when tested give the following result: OC and AC test. You can get the equivalent circuit parameters and also draw the resultant vector diagram. Okay, resultant equivalent circuit diagram. Here another problems. A 100 kVA transformer has 400 turns on the primary and 80 turns on the secondary winding. The primary and the secondary resistance are 0.3 ohm and 0.01 ohm respectively. And the corresponding leakage reactance are 1.1 and 0.035 ohm respectively. Supply voltage is 2200 voltage. Calculate equivalent impedance referred to primary, the voltage regulation under the secondary terminal voltage for full load having a power factor of 0.8 leading. Okay. So already data are available. What are the data are available in these columns? 100 kVA, that is a rating of the transformer equal to 100 kVA. Number of turns in primary N1 equal to 400. Number of turns in secondary N2 equal to 80. Primary winding resistance R1 equal to 0.3 ohm. Primary winding secondary winding resistance equal to R2 equal to 0.01 ohm. Primary winding reactance X1 equal to 1.1 ohm. Reactance equal to 0.035 ohm respectively. The supply voltage V1 equal to 2200 voltage. So determine these things. Okay. So by knowing the formula, transformation ratio formula, K equal to N2 by N1. So N2 equal to 80, N1 equal to 400, we can get the K value 1 by 5. 80 divided by 400, we can get the 1 by 5. That is a transformation ratio value K. So already data is available. R1 equal to 0.3 ohm. R01 equal to R1 plus R2 by K square. Gas equivalent impedance referred to primary side. Equivalent impedance referred to primary side. That is the it is the data. It is the parameters we got to determine for this formula. That's why we got R01 equal to R1 plus R2 by K square formula. R1 equal to 0.3, R2 equal to 0.01. Secondary winding resistance R2 equal to 0.01 ohm. Divided by K square 1 by 5 whole square, we can get the R01 value, that is a 0.55 ohm. Similarly, X01 equal to X1 plus X2 by K square formula. You can circuit these things 1.11 plus 0.035 divided by 1 by 5 whole square. We can get the X01 value simply 1.975 ohm. that is the total reactance or equivalent reactance referred to primary side. Then once R01 and X01 values are available, we can simply calculate the Z01 equal to square root of R01 square plus X01 square. Simply calculate the R01 square plus X01 square. So by means of this formula, we can get the 2.05 ohm value. So it is a complex form, 0.55 plus J 1.975. We got to convert the complex form into polar form. We can get that another formula. Okay, 2.05 ohm. It is the total impedance of the transformer referred to primary side. The angle between the voltage and current equal to 74.44. It is another formula we can determine for the data, that is the impedance value and also the angle between the voltage and current also. The second thing we can determine for the Z02 value, K square into Z01, 1 by 5 whole square into these things substitute panni 0.55 plus J 1.975, we can get the Z02 value 0.022 plus J 0.079. Okay. So no lower secondary voltage VT equal to K into V1, K into V1, that is equal to V2. VT equal to K into V1. We can get the secondary voltage 440 voltage. IT equal to rating of the transformer 100 kVA transformer. 100 kVA transformer divided by voltage. We can get the 227.3 ampere. Okay. Then finally we have to calculate for the voltage drop across the secondary winding, IT into R02 cos by minus sign. So minus sign means leading power factor, 0.8 leading power factor. That's why we have to substitute for the minus sign. X02 into sin phi. Okay. So substitute these parameters, we can get the regulation of the transformer minus 6.77 into 100 over 440. Can get the minus 1.54. That is the percentage of regulation. Percentage of voltage regulation of transformer. Okay. The secondary terminal voltage equal to XL induced EMF voltage 440 voltage, 440 minus of minus 6.77 volt drop voltage. We can get the 446.77 voltage. For leading, the voltage can be increasing one. For lacking, the voltage can be reducing one. Okay. So previous formula we have to the available last voltage available in this data is equal to reducing voltage. But leading case, it is a increasing one. Voltage is increasing one. So another problems for your reference. Simply note that this formula problems. These things are similar to the previous problems. The second part is second part also previous problem. Only last part is in the efficiency value. Okay. So efficiency formula, it is equal to output power divided by input power. Output power divided by input power. Output power plus output power divided by output power plus losses. It is another formula for the efficiency. So full load losses are available in the open circuit test and the short circuit test. By means of open circuit test and short circuit test, we have to determine for the full load iron losses 80 watts, full load copper losses, that is the 120 watts. So total losses of the transformer, we can get the full load losses, that is equal to 80 plus 120, that is a 200 watts. It is the total losses of the transformer. So full load output equal to 10,000 into 0.8. Why 10,000 means This is a 10 kVA transformer, rating of the transformer into 0.8 power factor. Here 0.8 power factor, lacking load. Okay, we can substitute for the 0.8. So 10,000 VA into 0.8 power factor, we can get the 8,000 watts. That is output power. So efficiency equal to output power divided by output power plus losses. So already output power equal to 8,000 plus losses equal to 200. So totally 8,200 watts. Output power divided by input power. So input power equal to output power plus losses. That is the 8,000 divided by 8,200. We can get the 97.57%. Here the efficiency of the transformer mostly above the 95%. Why means there is one of the losses or options, that is a mechanical losses. That's why the efficiency of the transformers compared to other machines is really high. For example, DC motor or DC generator, the efficiency of the machines can be only in the percentage lies in between 80 to 85%. But in case of transformer, any load conditions, the transformer efficiency can be lies in between the 90% to 98%. Here off-load conditions, I losses in the any load conditions equal to 80 watts, but copper losses we have to divide per x square. So off-load means 0.5 square into total full load losses. Okay, you can get the off-load copper losses because copper losses it is the variable losses. Okay, so then for off-load conditions, how to calculate the efficiency of the transformer is we have to determine for the off-load copper losses and add to the full load iron losses. We can get the total losses of the transformer. So output power divided by output power plus losses. The output power also we have to divide by 2. That is the 5,000 into 0.8. Why 5,000 means full load condition 10,000 kVA. Off-load condition it is the 5,000 kVA. So 5,000 into 0.8 power factor. We can get the 4,000 watts. It is the output power. The 4,000 output power divided by 4,000 output power divided by output power plus losses. So output power equal to 4,000. Losses equal to 110 watts. We can get the efficiency value 97.34%. From off-load to full load efficiency comparison only slightly depends. So it is an increasing nature from zero no load to full load. Okay, it is a practicing problem for your kinds. Here one of the problems, all day efficiency. We already know that what is meant by all day efficiency. That is output power in 24 hours divided by input power in 24 hours. That is called as an all day efficiency. So some of the distribution transformer, primary side always energization condition, but secondary side, when the customers loaded means the transformer secondary when it can be energized. Otherwise, it is in unloaded conditions. So that's why we have to determine for the actual efficiency of the transformer. It is only applicable for distribution transformer. All day efficiency, it is only applicable for distribution transformer, not applicable for the power transformer and any other transformer. Okay, because the distribution transformer, the primary side always energization condition, but secondary side, the whatever the customers can load means the windings can be energized. Otherwise, it is not energized. But the actual efficiency can be varied. Okay, so that's why we have to implement for the all-day efficiency concept in this transformer. That is here the problems mentioned in the 500 kVA distribution transformer. Okay, 500 kVA distribution transformer. So it is only applicable for the distribution transformer only concept. Okay. So based on the hour based, we have to determine for the output power and the input power. So based on the hour based, we get to determine for the efficiency value. Okay. For 6 hours, the transformer is 400 kilowatts loaded at 0.8 power factor. 10 hours, the transformer is loaded in the 300 kilowatt, 0.75 kilowatt power factor value. And 4 hours, and only 100 watts are loaded in this transformer secondary, 0.8 power factor. Another 4 hours, there is no load is applied across the secondary winding. That is, the secondary winding is kept at open conditions. Secondary winding is unloaded conditions. There is no load is connected across the secondary winding of the distribution transformer. Okay. So based on this hour based, we have to determine for the efficiency value, all day efficiency. That is determined for the 24 hours. Okay, output power in 24 hours divided by input power in 24 hours. This is another problems for your reference. Yeah, all the problems are lighting transformer. So lighting transformer means it is a distribution transformer. 100 kVA lighting transformer. Here 5 kVA distribution transformer. All the things are hour based. We have to calculate for the output power and the input power. The transformer output in a day of 24 hours, 7 into 1.25, 5 into 2.5, 2 into 5. Okay, 7 to 5. Okay, these are the hours. So output power in 24 hours divided by output power, input power in 24 hours. That is the formula begin the all day efficiency. Here another problems for your kind reference. Find the all day efficiency of the transformer. It's having maximum efficiency of 98% at 15 kVA. 12 hours for 2 kilowatt, 6 hours for 12 kilowatt, 6 hours at no load conditions. Okay. Okay, today in this class we have to discuss about the various problems behind the transformer. That is the EMF equation of transformer, equivalent circuit of transformer, and also open circuit test and short circuit test of transformer. And finally, we can see the all day efficiency of transformer. So for the detailed problems for your kind reference purpose, you have to solve for the detailed problems for your improvement in the problematics skill development. Okay. So thank you for this opportunity for giving the presentation of the GATE coaching class in SCST students for the AICT period scheme. Thank you very much.